Good morning. Yes, it's 2:30 a.m. I don't think I got 2 hours of sleep so far, and I'll explain why after I read the title and the blurb. Home Alone at Last is the title. Yesterday, after more than 2 years of having my daughter, son-in-law, and three grandchildren living under my roof, they were loaned enough money to pay first, last, and security deposit on a place of their own. Now I have to get as many of my things that I inherited from Dr. Mary sold as possible. Auctions are planned. I hope to raise enough money to try to keep my home, or in the worst case scenario, have enough to sustain myself in a new home. I do not intend to simply let PNC Bank win their fraudulent lawsuit. I will put up as much of a fight as I can muster with my lawyer helping me. Of course, that costs money, and I will continue to ask for help. Here's the PayPal link for those willing and able to help me, and I have the link there in the blurb. First of all, let me say again that I did get one donation of $50 yesterday, and I appreciate that. I do, as I said, need the help, and I am trying to liquidate as much of my furniture and artifacts as I can in my house and turn them into cash so that I can not only fight this battle but hopefully win it. And I'd like to actually have a countersuit against PNC Bank for fraud. I think I have sufficient grounds because they they don't have any signature. I never took out a mortgage with them or anybody on this house. Never. It doesn't exist. There was never a court hearing. There was never anything. All that they had, all of a sudden I got notified that they were having an auction for my house. What gave them the right to have an auction for my house? I have no idea. I had already, as I've said in the previous video or videos, I already had documentation. I don't even own the house. It's owned in a business trust. And they have violated that business trust. They continue to do business with Ronald Van Dyke, all in capital letters, which is a straw man, a non-human entity, a dead person, because courts are dead entities. Judges are not judges. They arbitrate things. And again, I have a natural right. If they're going to take something from me, I have a right to a trial. And they didn't give me that right. I never had a trial in all of the 10.5 years that I've been involved in this thing. There's never been a trial. Everything has been a judicial decision. And they have harassed me. Twice I ended up in jail briefly for driving without a license, and one time I wasn't even driving, and the other time I just simply had a tail light out. It's not like I was doing something wrong, except I'm challenging the system, and I will keep challenging the system. And now that I'm home at last, without my family here, I don't have to think in terms of what will happen to my grandkids. I don't have to have that as part of the equation. Now I'm free to fight, and if I have to, die, or whatever needs to be. I don't know what the future holds. And I'm not going to pretend that I do know what the future holds, because I don't have it written out. I thought in 2012, or 2011 actually, that was going to be the time that we turned everything around. And then when it didn't happen in 2011, I thought, well, for sure it's going to happen in 2012. Well, it didn't, and 2013 came and went. The lawsuit was finally settled in 2013. And again, I had already put my property into a business trust, into an irrevocable business trust, that protects it. It's the highest form of ownership that anybody can have, and I would encourage those of you that own your home to put it in a business trust. It absolves you from paying property taxes, for one thing. And I think that's why they had that sale, because I was removed from the tax roll by filing the trust that I filed. So they put a claim on the property so that they could continue to collect taxes, except now, instead of me paying the taxes, PNC Bank was paying them. So that's their claim, but it's all fraud. It's all based on fiction. Again, there was never, never, never a loan made to me on this property. There is no paperwork, no signature, no nothing. So I'm home at last, and I'm fighting for my home. And yes, I'm going to use the services of the attorney. If there has to be an appeal filed, I'm not going to lay down easily and yield my home to the bank or to the court or to anybody. I do intend at some point, when all of this can be resolved, to actually get a smaller place. I don't need this big place unless I'm going to resume having meetings here, which I have not planned that yet, and I don't know if I will. I'm selling as much of my furniture as I can sell, keeping only what I absolutely must have, and what I can't sell goes into storage. And I'm rearranging my entire life. I'm clearing it out to make room for something new. I'd love to eventually be in a relationship. If something like that were to come along now, it would be wonderful. It needs to be somebody that can be with me. I mean, I don't do long distance relationships, and I don't even consider them. That's a meaningless thing. Why be involved with somebody that you can't be with? But anyway, these are all just ramblings of where I am, and I ask for continued prayers, because God knows I need it. We're still up against a system that, though it may be dying, it still exists, and it's still corrupt as hell, especially in the United States. The courts are not places that are fair. Judges really aren't judges. They're arbiters that arbitrate things. And again, they never, I'm a human being. They deprived me of my rights. They can't deprive me of my property without a trial, but they tried, or they've claimed to have done that, although I'm still here, and I intend to stay here. Anyway, as I said, I do need prayers. I would appreciate financial support. I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know if there's going to have to be an appeal filed, which costs money. I never filed an appeal on this particular case. There was appeal filed on the previous case, but not this one. Not the new case that they opened against me, breaking the agreement that I had made with PNC Bank in the previous one, that I allowed them to have power of attorney to sell the Merritt Island property, which was Dr. Mary's home. And I would take nothing else except this house. This was the agreement that they made, and it is documented. I still have paperwork to go through, and I probably should align it in chronological order as much as possible. It would make it a lot easier. But it's been taken out of chronological order by searching for this and piling, it's just not in order. So that's something that I do need to focus on, and I do need to do. And there's a lot of things now with my family not here. They still have a few more things that they've got to get out of here, but for the most part, they've moved. And last night, they didn't sleep here. They slept in their own place. And pray for them too, and pray for my son, and pray for the families of my family, for the help that they've provided and the encouragement that they've provided. I do thank all of them for helping, and I thank you for listening. Namaste.